So, but somebody can give us the feedback from there, right? At when it is starting, so that we can align it based on that.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
3, 2, and 1.
So, good afternoon to all the viewers. So, we will be starting the presentation at 3 p.m. like we have suggested. So, the presentation will go about for 60 minutes. 40 minutes we will be giving it to the speaker to explain what he has to say, to understand what the concept is and to understand where we are. And 20 minutes at the last we will have some Q&A sessions. So if any viewers are interested in knowing something more about any particular thing or any particular topic or something, they can always post their comments in the comment section. So we will be taking each questions in that 20 minutes that we have, and we will be addressing all the issues that you have or any doubts that you have. So in a couple of minutes we'll be starting with the presentation. So, welcome all to this first presentation of the series that we are going to have at Satyukt Analytics. So, like I've told you before, I'll just give you a brief of how this presentation is going to go about. So, we'll have a 60 minutes of presentation. 40 minutes the expert will talk about the solutions and the the case studies and what all has been done from their end. And 20 minutes we'll be having for the Q&A sessions. So throughout the presentation, if the viewers have any one of the doubts or any sort of clarification that is needed, you can always post your comments in the chat box or you can comment it. So in the last 20 minutes that we are going to have after the presentation, we'll take about each and every one query of yours and we'll be addressing each and everything. So welcome to the presentation. Today we are going to talk about Sat2Farm, a mobile application which is actually a tool for digital or precision or smart agriculture. The main motto of this application is to bring about the digital agriculture or precision agriculture per se to each and every land parcel, to each and every farmer, and the data should be available with the farmer is what the entire thing is about. So myself, I'm Vijay Pramati. I'm working as the program manager at Satyukt Analytics. So the speaker of today's topic is Mr. Thiaku. He's presently the Chief Operating Officer of Satyukt Analytics. So he has a vast experience of 5 years in the remote sensing domain for agriculture and water resource management. So welcome to this webinar, sir. It's pleasure to have you. So we'll just have a brief introduction and on what we are going to talk about today, so that both viewers and we are on the same page. So we'll just give you a brief introduction about Satyukt Analytics as a whole. Like, the company was founded in 2018. The founders are Dr. Satkumar and Dr. Yukti Gill. So the team is about 60 plus people. So it consists of various domain experts. Like, they have agriculture graduates who are onto the field, who are educating the farmers, giving the vital information about the application. There is agriculture experts team that is in-house, who are solving these issues, who are going about in the advisories, and there is this remote sensing team, there is the data analytics team, there is the programmers who are actually looking after what is happening in the application and stuff like that. So this is a multidisciplinary team, and there are a lot of projects that have been done in more than 18 plus countries, and the farmers currently are about 15,000 plus farmers are using the application. So today we are going to see about what is precision farming and how Sat2Farm is going to bring about a change or bring about some intervention in this regard. So if we have to simply put this precision farming, so we'll say precision farm is nothing but doing the right thing at the right time. Meaning to say, if any farm intervention has to be done in the farm, it has to be done at the right time. Like, there is a particular time for sowing, so that is when the sowing should be done. There is some kind of fertilizers that you have to apply at a particular point of time, so that is to be done. So these things which we have to do at a particular time based on the data will be the precision farming basically. Like, most of the tools today, most of the things are in talk today, like the remote sensing, the GIS, or the drones, or internet of things, machine learning or artificial intelligence. So the major principle is that you capture information through these technologies, you develop an effective technology to solve the problems or issues with these, and you also have this management strategies that you have to come about it. So when we talk about smart farming, it is more or less, most people might be ambiguous, but there is subtle differences between these terms. When we say precision farming, it is just about bringing up a technology, optimizing the resources. When we say smart farming, it is the access to the data and how this data is applied in the field, in the day-to-day life of a farmer. So basically, the data that we have, what we are applying, the farmers are applying, will be the smart farming. And if you combine both these technologies, both the arenas into one umbrella term, we can call it as digital agriculture. So when we look about all these new technologies that are coming up, new terminologies that are coming up, certain things are pretty common in this, like remote sensing or big data analytics or machine learning, or these things are pretty common in this. Can you please throw some light on what is actually remote sensing, or how big data analytics is done? What is this actually?
So maybe this is very nice one. Like, before going into talking about the application, like what it's going to use, maybe we have viewers from the different domain. Like, we have some experts of remote sensing also, and there are some viewers from the farming background also. So we can just have a small intro about what is remote sensing is. So basically, everybody has taken a photo, maybe with the DSLR camera or with your mobile phone. So here also similar thing. We are taking a photo remotely, and the photo is taken from a satellite which is revolving around there, which is at the top, and it's revolving around the air. So when the photo is taken, this photo is sent to the ground, and then we do some processing with that photo, and we add some value-added services. This is what we are doing with the help of remote sensing. When we want to give some services, when we see about a photo, each image for a farm, maybe we get around 100 GBs of data over a few years. So we want to give do some processing. We collect the data of the long-term historical data, and we have some land observations from it, and we combine with the technologies like machine learning and then the artificial intelligence technologies, and this we are giving to the farmers as the Sat2Farm as our application is.
Okay, so can you please tell us how this interface looks like, or probably how this remote sensing is used in the Sat2Farm application per se?
Yes. So before starting, maybe I can just give like how this is. Sat2Farm is a mobile application where the farmers can download. It's available in the Play Store. You can download, or anybody can download it from the Play Store. Once you download the application, this first time they have to sign up. For the registration, the phone number is required, and once you sign up, you get some password will be there. Using the password and the login, you can sign in. And once you sign in, there are multiple languages available. It's available in English, and then regional languages of India like Kannada is there, Hindi is there, Telugu is there, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali. These languages is there. And once you have to choose the language, and first thing what the farmer has to do is they have to walk around the boundary, like they have to geotag their farm. There are two options to geotag the farm. One is like walk around the boundaries, and another one is they can either draw. So if the farmer is very good in the maps and all, they can simply draw the farm boundary by identifying the farm. If you see on this image where the fourth image where you can just simply draw it.
Just like how we do it in the Google Maps or something.
Yeah,
where how we find it.
Yes. But if it is a farmer who are not very comfortable with the mapping, there is an option called draw. You go to your farm, wherever the farm is, and you click on the draw button. Then in both the options, your pop-up will come, and it will ask you to some name. So you can give some name for the reference your purpose for the farm. It may be the name of the farmer, or it may be the what is the crop it's grown there. Once you have given this, and then it will zoom to your location. It will ask for your location permission, and once it's zoomed to your location, you can click a start button. Once you click start button, you walk around the boundaries of the farm, and you come back to the starting point, and then stop there. Then it will be added. Then you have to give us some basic information like what is the crop grown there, and what is the sowing date, and what is the varieties of it. If it are done, that's it. Your farm is now added to us. Then this application starts providing advisories to you.
Okay. So what are the kind of advisories that we can see in the Sat2Farm application?
Yeah, so we are providing mostly like most of the advices, like even from the testing your soil samples and then giving your health of the crop or the water resource, like how is the water is in the farm, and then different, like you can provide image based advice. We'll go by one advisories. Like first one, we'll start with the crop water management. So with the help of satellite, we are providing soil moisture information which is at the 20-meter resolution. So what we do is, if you see in this image, there is a farm. There is a farm in that, like if you are geotagging the farm, this is the farm which is geotagged. There we are giving the soil moisture, and the soil moisture is at the 20-meter resolution, and it's provided once in 12 days. Once you add the farm, it will take 15 to 30 minutes to give the soil moisture. So if you see here, like there are some parts of the farm which is green in color, where the green means the soil moisture is good, and the yellow means the soil moisture is low. And next is like this soil moisture can be used to identify if there is some particular part of the farm which is having stress, and then maybe you monitor the drought, and if you want to irrigate, you can irrigate only to that particular form of the farm. So this is a use case where there is a farmer in the Nagar district of Karnataka. So there, if you see the farm in the 8th of January, there one part of the farm which is completely blue, where the soil moisture is quite high, and in the lower part of the farm where the soil moisture is quite low, it's completely dry. So this was mainly what happened when it was the same pattern which is observed in the three images. If you see, the soil moisture is quite low in this. So this farmer is based out of the city, and he is not going to the field regularly, and there was some clog in the the sprinkler or the drip irrigation which is there. So some part of the farm which is not getting the water, and there is some part of the farm which is getting more water. So with the help of monitoring this, even though the soil moisture is provided once in 12 days, so you can see is there everything is going fine, is there something is happening, and if there is some part of the area which is not getting water, you can concentrate on that particular area, and if there is some water, even if it gets more water also, it's dangerous to the crop, maybe the crop may damage or some infection may come. So that can be corrected with the help of this. So next one we are providing is like can monitor the crop health of the farm using the satellite data. So the most commonly used is it is very widely used across the remote sensing domain. We are having the NDVI. So with the NDVI, similar to the soil moisture, this is provided at the 10-meter resolution over your entire farm. This has a direct relationship with how green your farm is. If the NDVI farm is more green, the NDVI values will be high. So it may not be all the farms will have the very high NDVI. Based on the age of your crop, this NDVI slowly increases and it reaches some maturity and saturation and it drops down. So if you see again in this image, there are some parts of the farm which has yellow color, but there are some parts of the farm which is in red in color. So the red in color maybe it has some stress or something. So this can be identified with the help of NDVI.
So I just have to stop you here. Both the slides we saw something called as spatial resolution and temporal resolution. Can you please explain in simple terms what this actually means? Like what the spatial resolution is and what is temporal resolution?
Okay. So first I will talk about what is the temporal resolution. So as I told, we have a satellite which is taking the images from the top. This satellite is not placed at one location, it revolves around the earth.
Okay.
When it is revolving, it takes the images over entire part. If you take a 1 foot pass over your farm, the next time when it comes to your farm, that is the temporal resolution is. So how many days once it can give photo over the location. So generally, if you see in the case of crop health, we get the image once in 5 days. And if in the case of soil moisture, it is once in 12 days. And the next is spatial resolution. When we say spatial resolution, it's like even when we say a photo camera and all, there is something called megapixel, how many pixels it can come. So here we are seeing lots of small pixels. What is the area this 1 pixel is representing? That is called as the spatial resolution. So here 1 pixel is 10 meter by 10 meters square. So every 10 meter by 10 meter square, you get this image. So it's more like, maybe if we put it in a local terms, where we are in Karnataka, if we say there's like puntas will be used. There is if we take 1 acre of the land, there is around 400 puntas. If it is a 1 pixel of 10 meter by 10 meter, it's approximately 100 square meter. So 1 gunta is also approximately 100 square meter. So for every gunta, we provide one value to that. So if you have 1 acre of land, there will be 40 values across your land. You can see it at the 40 different places. Is there everywhere it's uniform, or it's some particular bits or pieces it's there. So if you see in this image also, there are some pieces where in the yellow color it's good, and in the red color there is something is not good. And similarly, if we say instead of guntas, maybe if you go to North India, maybe there are terms like bihas or katta will be used. 1 bigha will have approximately some 10 by 10 meter pixels, and 1 katta will be, again, it's approximately 1 pixel.
So this basically aligns with whatever precision farming that we are talking about. Each and every farmer can have access to different values and in the same land parcel. Per se, like in one land parcel, there are so many variabilities that we can observe. Like we saw in this graph that we saw, like in one land parcel only there are a lot of variations.
Yes.
So each and every land parcel can be treated as and when the value is changing and as and when the intervention is required.
Yes. So you can identify which part of the land which is not having maybe the soil moisture is low, or the particular part of the farm where the crop health is low. So you can concentrate on that part. Even if you want to do a fertilizer or pesticide, rather than giving to the entire farm, only where the particular region where it is affected, there you can give it. So also another thing is, with the help of NDVA, you can see the phenological stages of the crop also. This, as I told, the NDVA may not be 1 always. If the crop is at the starting stage, if the land is barren, NDVA may be close to 0.3, and with the crop slowly grows, the NDVA slowly increases. If you see on the graph on the right side, then it slowly increases and reaches maturity stage. If you on the right side graph, this blue line denotes the actual NDVA of a farm, and this green color line is what is the optimal NDVA at that particular stage of the crop. You can see there is a dip in the blue color towards maybe the October. So this was maybe some stress happening, maybe water stress, or it may be some pest or disease attack, or maybe nutrient stress, and then some intervention is done by the farmer. Then again it picks up, and then it reaches the maturity, and then harvesting is done. Then on the left side also you can see the images for a particular farm which is in Karnataka. There across the different times how the NDVA is varying.
Okay, this also means that if there is any intervention that is taken from the farmer, if there is fertilizer application, or if there is some chemical or part of, per se fungicides application, if there is any increase in NDVA value, that indirectly says the chemical or the intervention that he has sprayed is working.
Yeah.
So can we take this also as a note to the farmers?
Yes,
like
it can be taken like this. Maybe if you are applying something, as you see here on the right side, there is some issues coming, then you are taking some measures. Is it making good effect or something? This can be monitored by the help of this.
okay.
So next is one more case study, which is from the farm which is in Odisha. There you can see the 2 images, which is on the left and on the right. On the left side images, where we have circled, there are the NDVA values are low. There are some red patches are coming here. So what was happening is, this is a paddy farm. There are some, and this area is more prone to the bacterial plague. So this was the area which is affected by the bacterial plague. So if you see, this bacterial plague is only at the top region, still not yet spread to the other parts of the farm. So with the help of this, by seeing it at the early itself, you can take a preventive measure and then avoid spreading it to the whole part of the farm, and it can be, the loss due to this can be avoided.
Yes.
And another case study, this is in UP, where we can see there is a farm that a small portion is having a red color, with everything is completely green in color. So this was because of there is a disease, there is a pest attack in that farm. You can, it's a sugarcane farm, like there was a pest attack. So when this was happening, then the farmer goes to the field. We ask the farmers to send us the photo. When he goes to the field and take the photo and send to us, there was a pest, and this can be taken care.
So this exactly means like the farmer, even if it is a very big farm or it is half an acre, 1 acre of farm, he can exactly locate where the issue has started.
Yes.
With this NDVI map or somewhere, like if he knows where the issue has started, his intervention will be much earlier and he can reduce the extent of losses that he can go
Yes,
about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, what one result maybe not, what we can do with NDVI is we can see there is some stress in the crop, and with the help of the soil moisture, we can identify is it due to the water stress or something, either the excess water or lower water. But with the help of these two, we can't identify is it because of some nutrient deficiency, or is it because of pest attack or disease attack. So for this purpose, we have another feature in our app where if there is any thing, we observe something is wrong, some stress is happening, so the farmer can send us the photo, then we provide the advisories. So we provide the pest and disease advisory. So simply what here farmer has to do is, let's say there is some part of the land which has some affected. So the farmer has to go to that part and take a camera option is there in our app. They take the photo and send to us. It's always advised to send more than one image, and it's a close up of what part of the image is affected, what part of the crop is affected, and a clear image of the crop. Once we receive that photo, our team will agree experts will analyze the data and then get back to us. There are sometimes we may have to ask some questions to the farmers like is it like they had taken some fertilizers or some nutrients has been applied recently, or so to, if there is anything we just directly calls to the farmer and get the details from them and we provide the solutions.
So if in case, let us imagine today I am uploading a photograph, I have some probably there will be some critical time, right, to give some intervention, probably overnight or something like that. How early can I expect the data coming back to me? Like what is the suggestion that I can get if I upload a photograph now?
Okay. So once you upload the photo, within the 3 hours we will get back to you. Most of the times with solution, but if there is anything we have to ask, we will call back you within 3 hours.
Okay, so it means it is very near real time that we will be getting
it's
these
mostly
services.
within the 3.
Okay, so once we get the solution, but there are also certain things like the farmer might not be aware of how to apply it, or probably he might not understand what is the concentration that he has to apply. Will this also be provided in the application, or is it?
Yes. So when we give the answer, it's like more like if you go to a fever for a doctor, he says maybe you can take a paracetamol or something, maybe. So similarly, we say the chemical formulation, what has to be taken for this particular disease, and we says how much concentration it should be. So simply you can go to the nearby agri shop which is in your region, and you can show it to them. They can just give the medicine, whatever the market is available. Then you can know what is the maybe 1 ml in the 1000 liters of water. You can just simply give it, and then this can be applied over there. So similarly, there are some use cases like there is one farmer in UP for the paddy. He has some bacterial dry. So he sent us the photo. This is how we are providing the solution, like what exactly the chemical to be used and how much it has to be applied.
So this is how it will look like in the application.
And similarly, on the right side there is another paddy crop where it's a viral disease where the farmer has uploaded the photo and then we have given the solution. Going forward, it's not always a pest or disease which will affect the crop. There are sometimes maybe the nutrient deficiency, or sometimes maybe over applying of the nutrients also, or maybe the under applying of the nutrients also, it affects the crop. So what we are having in the other feature in our app is you can monitor the soil macronutrients in our app. So what we do is, with the help of the multiple satellite data, we are estimating the macronutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, organic carbon and pH over the air form. So it is more like we do a test over the farm remotely and then we provide the data to the farmers.
So in Indian scenario, if we consider, most of the farmers are rigid, like they don't go for often soil testing per se. Like, can you just say why this is happening in the Indian context, or how Sat2Farm can breach this kind of shackle that is there with the Indian farmers?
Okay, so one main thing, maybe like most of the times, like it's not available everywhere. If you want to do a soil testing over your region and you have to go maybe the long distance, it may not be available in every villages. You have to go to nearby town or maybe nearby district headquarters to get the soil testing. And you have to, for one sample of soil testing, it may be just 200 rupees. But along with 200 rupees, you may go one day. Maybe the report comes automatically. Maybe some days nowadays maybe comes. But sometimes you have to go and collect. Maybe one day of your time is there, and your travel expenses. All these things are coming. And this may be one reason why maybe not many farmers are not able to go for the soil testing. And with the help of Sat2Farm, what we are doing is like we are doing it remotely. So you don't need to go anywhere. Just you geotag your farm, and there will be simple like get soil you can just contact us, or maybe you can just request us for the soil testing, and it's just a very nominal rate of just 25 rupees per acre. We will be providing it to the farmers.
So meaning to say, the soil report will be provided to each and every land parcel?
Yes. If you see this next one, like this is one farm which is geotagged, which is in the Telangana. So there you can see for every 10 meter by 10 meter, let's say again the terms of guntas, every guntas, we are providing a soil nutrients level. And at the when we get it at the each land parcel level, like at every 10 meter pixel, again you don't need to apply the same amount of nutrition to the entire land. Maybe either you are applying the organic or you are applying the inorganic. You can apply only for the region where it is low. If you see on the image on the right side, where there is a potassium is low in some particular part of the farm, so only this is the region maybe you can concentrate on the potassium, applying more. And there are some regions where there is a nitrogen is high, you no need to apply in the region the same amount of. So simply we can say we can apply a variable rate fertilizers across the different farm. This is one. And another is, if you want to do the similar thing in the soil testing or something, you want to do it for the 40, or if it is a 1 acre, there are 40 pixels for 1 acre. For every pixel, if you want to do it, then it's very quite costly. So this can be done at a very effective scale by using this one.
Okay. So will there be any, if I know my soil nitrogen is very low, or soil organic carbon is very low, will there be any intervention from your end, or how is it?
So we give a report. In the report we have this soil nutrients maps also. Along with these maps, we will have like how it is within the ranges we give, average value, minimum value. If you see, there is a farm in Karnataka where it ranges from 247 to 288 as the nitrogen value kg per hectare, and we give what is the standard values also. If you see in both the cases of this, the standard values are like it's close to the standard value. The nitrogen case is 280 to 560 is the standard, and it's close to the bottom, but still it's in the, based on that you can recommend like how much it need to be applied. And then the phosphorus also, it's between this 10 to 24. Similarly, along with this, we recommend also how much to be used. So if you see in the next one, then if there is a Sugarcane farm which is in Bijnor, so the farmer applies 375 kg of nitrogen per hectare, but what is needed is like just 150 kg per hectare. Okay. So we recommend how much is needed rather than applying like lots. Most of the time how farmer applies is just based on his knowledge. Maybe most of the times it's correct, but there are sometimes it maybe we applies, over applies, or maybe under applies also some cases. If you see in the second, another farm which is in Punjab, where the phosphorus is required is 136 kg per hectare, but he applies very less. Even we have noticed in many cases where the farmers applies lots of nitrogen fertilizer and maybe the phosphorus fertilizer, but not always this potash. Maybe sometimes the potash is less, or maybe some one fertilizer is applied and one is not applied. This can be taken care with this.
Yeah, most of the cases what happens with Indian farmers is that even though there are some nutrients in my farm, if the other person is applying 2 or 3 bags extra, we think we'll also have to apply 2 or 3 bags
so
extra.
So more is like there is one, it's not with everybody, but there are lots of farmers. The misconception is when you apply more, the production will be more, but it need not to be like this. As we say, everything when it crosses some limit, it may be again dangerous to the crop. Maybe it comes to some, maybe health of the crop also may affect. So we tell what is the optimal amount required for the farm based on what is the nutrients available in that farm.
Okay.
So next is, along with the services, there are some services which specific to the crop locations. Based on the crop and then the locations, there are some advisories we are providing. So one is like we are providing a pest or the disease forewarning. So when we see the pest or disease, most of the pest or disease grows in like based on some particular favorable conditions. Only if the temperature is some between so and so range, or maybe like there was some lots of rainfall, or more irrigation is done, or the humidity is in particular range. This is how it happens. So what we do is we take the weather data, weather forecast data will be there, and based on the weather data, we provide like if there is any chances of and what is the crop is there and what is the stage of the crop. If there are chances, is like some particular pest or disease can come, so we give it as a forewarning to the farmers. So when we send a forewarning, we say like this pest or disease may come. Along with this pest or disease, like what kind of symptoms it will be there. So once the farmer notices that symptoms, they can take the action for that. This will help the farmers, like maybe rather than after once it comes, you take some prevention and it supplies, even though it controls, but there may be a loss of 10 to 20%, maybe 30% loss. By this, maybe you can reduce your loss, crop loss, even if there is at the starting stage itself, if we cut it off.
Okay. So meaning to say, like in crude terms, if we have to say, there will be a forewarning which says you might be affected from this. You will also be giving a solution, and once the solution is applied, we can always recheck back on the NDVI maps for any improvement that we have seen, or if there is been no improvement as such in that
Yes.
particular case. Okay, moving forward.
So another is like, see, always like when we, it's mostly the cases when there is no, we have no non-perennial rivers near to your residence. If we say in many parts of India where the water is not available throughout the year, during the monsoon only you have water, and in the summer the bore wells are that it's going deep and deep. Then maybe the bore well, like don't have water during the summer and all. This may not, we can't say when it will go off, but it's more like every farm, every village will have, there will be nearby one lake or pond will be there. By monitoring the what is the water available in the pond, it will indirectly says like how much is the water under groundwater is. Let's say like if the during the rainy time if the pond is full, and in the summer also at the starting of the summer if the pond is full, it indirectly contributes to the recharge of the groundwater, even if though you are not using directly for your irrigation. So what we have one tool is, you can, similar to geotagging your farm, you can geotag the water body nearby. Then over the historically you can see how much is the water varying over this, maybe the water storage area varying over this region. So if you see this map where this is for a tank which is located in Kolar, so we are showing the area of the tank in the square meters. So this during the May, if you see this water level is very low, and in towards the August the water level was very high. And the other case, what happened in this tank was, this tank got breached because in this year like August, October there was heavy rainfall and the tank got filled and it was broken. So if you see in the satellite data, the value was keep on reducing maybe from the August itself, and August to October itself the value was keep on reducing, but the dam breakage was happening in the October. This is when we came to know. But by using this kind of technologies where there was a leakage happening in the August to September itself, this can be controlled over the time. So this kind of technologies will be helping in the maybe the not only the farmers, maybe the some governing bodies or somebody, they can make this better decisions based on this. The dam breakage may be even avoided if we have used this one.
So, meaning to say, if I have to put it in terms of, if I think I am a farmer, so can I make this correlation wherein you said this tanks or water bodies nearby will recharge by groundwater. So, if I observe any dip in the surface area of the tank water, if there is any less water, can I also imply to my farm that my borewell will not be performing well? I should be using less of a borewell to avoid some kind of damage on the part of borewell or something like that? Or
yeah, yes, exactly. So this is one way. Another one is, if it's starting of the cropping season and maybe it's summer, if you know at the starting itself the tank is completely full, then maybe you can go on assumption like maybe in the throughout the season this water will be enough. Then maybe you can depends on bore water. But at the starting itself, even the groundwater there, the tank itself is not having any water or something. And in the last year also it was a similar pattern, and your borewell went very down. So you can go for a crop maybe which is not very intense water required crop or something like that. This kind of decisions can be made with the help of this. So with this we are just ending to the, like, these are some few features we want to discuss in this part of this webinar. We are coming to this. Just I want to summarize whatever we have discussed. So with this, once you have, first thing is you have to log in and register to our app and then log in, and you have to geotag your farm. Once you geotag the farm, you can get the information like how is the growth of the crop and what is the water, like soil moisture level of this crop, and also if requested we can give you the soil nutrients for the crop, and then the pest or the disease forewarning. And also if you have a pest or disease attack, you send us the photo, we give the solutions to that. And with the help of the soil moisture, we give the services which is, we didn't talk, but irrigation advices we give, and also this weather forecast for the next 15 days we give, and then the crop calendar we give, with the crop calendar like general package of practices which can be used.
So, to sum up everything, Sat2Farm is one application wherein we are trying to reach out to each and every land parcel. Maybe he has just half an acre of land or 1 acre of land, or per se very big like 10 hectares or 20 hectares of land. Each and every person will have location specific insight, like how we were mentioning, probably 1 gunta or 100 square meter, so that even though the precision farming tools that we talk about are very costly, or like it is not accessible to each and every person through Sat2Farm, can we just imagine like we are bringing precision agriculture or digital agriculture into each and every land parcel? Like when we say soil nutrition is given at 10 meter by 10 meter resolution, NDVI is given at this resolution. So the farmer will have the liberty to choose which are areas should be his major focus and what areas are actually sufficiently good and they can grow about themselves, or probably they can be a lot of saving, or probably this can be a general practice over a period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if we see about the nutrients or if you see about the soil moisture, instead of applying the same water or applying the same nutrients to the entire farm, you can apply to only where it is needed. And similarly, if the crop health is maybe one part of the farm is not good, only for that farm, particular area you may spray this fertilizer. Let's say you are having 1 acre of land, only half an acre is getting affected. So if you have to spend 1000 rupees on spraying for the entire 1 acre, instead of that you can spend just half the money and spray it on only the regions where it gets affected or something. And another is, when you can see it at the starting itself, you can control it only over that region. If you are having one area which is affected, just you take a buffer of some surrounding some area and then you apply it over that region, then it can be controlled before it's spreading to the different parts of the farm.
Okay, that was an interesting presentation that we saw. So we'll directly go about if there are any questions from our viewers.
No.
So there is one question that we can see, like the webinar should be available in local languages also. So that is what we would also like to say. This webinar will also be available in different local languages like in Kannada, in Telugu and Tamil in coming days. The dates and the reasons will be notified in social media. So that is one thing that we would like to announce. That question is answered by.
I think regarding this local language, maybe we are planning for the next one in the Kannada, and the dates we will be posting in the chat. What will be the next date where the Kannada presentation will be? So this will be like going forward, as you told, like the next after Kannada, maybe the next languages also will be coming. And along with this, maybe in the meantime when we get the next question or something, so it's whatever we presented is so far mostly about this Sat2Farm application. So we don't have only the Sat2Farm application, we have like the web portal also and API also. If there is not a farmer, somebody, maybe the agri entrepreneurs or maybe some NGOs or maybe an FPO or some company, they are already providing services to the farmer and they want to integrate our services as part of that to the farmers. They can we can provide our API to them, they can integrate, and we are willing to collaborate, and we will be just sharing our contact details in the very next one. Like here our contact details or this there, they can just reach out to our phone number or maybe to the mail, then this can be done.
Okay, we still have time. We'll wait for some of the questions to pop in. By the time we can also discuss about are there any like field challenges that you are facing? Like, have you got any feedback from the farmers saying this has helped a lot? How is it going about in that front?
Yeah, even if you see this soil nutrients, like let's say if you have some 1 acre of the land, if you want to do it at the 40 pixels, every pixels you want to do, one is like cost is like maybe if you do 40 times, maybe one is like 200 rupees also, it will be more than 5,000 rupees for the 40 different locations you want to do. And another is like this in Indian conditions, like India, not everybody, like mostly we have the small and marginal farmers where may not be able to afford the technologies which is costly or something, and their land parcels are not at everything at a single location. So you can just provide maybe a same farmer can add his different farms which is at the different small blocks at the different locations. So then we can provide the solutions to the all. These are two things.
Okay, so there was one interesting concept that you mentioned. You mentioned that taking a soil sample from one particular place to going to some place else, and like this is a very time consuming process, and this is also a burden on a farmer's front, and that is why they are not going for soil soil testing on a frequent basis. So when I ask Sat2Farm, how will it be done? Is it possible to do it remotely? Like if you don't have the soil sample, can you just explain to the viewers how it might be done? So
okay, so what we are doing is like when we see the satellite data, it records the values. When you take the photo, it takes the photo in the different bands. When we see through the normal eyes, we see it in only the optical domain. Maybe whatever we are saying, maybe we have seen in movies some night vision cameras,
yes,
or maybe some IR cameras where even during night time you can see something. So similarly like this, there are values which is recorded in during the which is in the NAR band or maybe the visible band and then microwave band. We take this 10-20 bands, and then we have the soil testing which is done historically across the different locations, so maybe more than 10,000s of samples. So we takes this sample and we build an AI model combining these bands and which band is more sensitive to the particular nutrients. So this is how we are providing it to the farmers.
So meaning to say, the content of the soil will be, specific band will be related to some soil content, and that is how we are going to take a report out of it.
Yes.
So this will be based on that particular location.
Yeah, so we are providing currently across the entire India. So we have taken the samples across the different parts of the India, like entire geography we have taken, and then we are providing it for whole.
Okay. So we have a question, how to utilize the app. So basic question is, I know all about the Sat2Farm application. How do I go about using the application?
Okay. So generally, when you want to use the app, like just first thing is you have to download it from the Play Store and you can register. And there are some contact numbers given there for the different languages, like what is the number to be contacted for the language specific. Then if there is any doubt, you can always ask us. And there are some YouTube videos we have provided, and in our YouTube channel, Satyukt channel, you can get the videos of how to use it. So maybe in the part of future also we can have one, if it's needed, maybe many users request it, we can have one webinar as just a demo itself, like how to use it. Or maybe some specific commands comes, we can release more YouTube videos on that. Always they can just call us to our number and then we can help them in. It's simple as just they have to geotag their farm boundary and give the basic details of what is the crop and what is the sowing date. Then we start sending them blood advisories. And if there is anything like specific they want, they can send us the photo of that some particular disease or something. We send this to them. Otherwise, things.
So simply, the app is available in the Play Store.
Yes.
They can download it. Only information required from their end would be their phone number or their name, and they have to geotag their particular farm to start getting all the information.
Yes.
So once that is done, all the information that we have discussed till now in the webinar can be, directly done.
Yes.
So there is one more question that we have got. Can you help with the micronutrient deficiency as well?
Okay. Currently we are not doing micronutrients. Currently we are providing macronutrients. But if they want some, there are some parts. If we can help us in, if we based on where they are located, if possible, we can help them with somebody who does the lab testing, and then we can provide it to them.
So even we can connect them with the people. So basically, we can give them the advice based on that regarding all these things. Okay. So I think that would be all for the questions part. Okay. MK.
There is one question I think.
Yeah.
Try in Hindi also. I'm from Gujarat. Yeah, we will be having one webinar in Hindi also in the soon. As the series of webinar, we will be giving it in Hindi also.
So okay, there is another question regarding the same thing. Like, can we expect the same in Kannada languages also? Like it is already mentioned. 14th of May will be the Kannada version of the same webinar. Like where we'll be talking about this Sat2Farm application for Kannada audience specifically. As and when the days progress, we'll also be coming up with Hindi languages, Telugu languages, and all the other different languages in spoken in India.
Yes. There was one more question, like I think better the same should available. Okay, they are asking all the information should be available in the local languages.
Yes.
Yeah, we are providing it in the local languages as much as we are trying. There are some times the difficulties in maybe the translation may not be exactly to the farmer specific. So we are improving it. Then if there is some bugs or something like they are like bugs in the sense when the translation comes, if there is something not proper, always they can flag to us. Then we can improve it. We are more looking in terms of like how we can improve and also how they can help us in improving, so they can get the better services. So when we go into the local languages, the more challenges, like we are providing in the app is available in multiple local languages, but there are still some terminologies which is in the local language for the farmer specific may not be available.
Okay.
Maybe if we based on maybe the technologically we call it something, but the farmer may be calling it in locally there is some other term.
Yes.
So this we are slowly improving it. And always the feedbacks are welcome, then we will improve it. And currently it's already available in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, Gujarati, and then Bengali, and this Marathi also.
Okay, so that is the answer that was expected. So there is one question from a person. So is it chargeable? Is the application chargeable?
Yeah.
So
this whatever the features we have explained today, everything is free except this soil nutrients. The soil nutrients we charge is at 25 rupees per acre, and there are some informations which is like at the free versions everything will be coming, and there are some nominal charges for some premium version like that. When you go for premium version, you can always contact us. The email IDs and the phone numbers are provided. You can contact us and we will be telling like based on your how much area you want, and it will be like that. It will be less than maybe like in a day 1 rupee per day, like that it will be the charge. It will be less than that 1 rupee per day.
So this soil report which they'll be requesting, how will it be provided to them?
Yeah, so they can request it and then through the app itself they can just download. The report will be coming to them. So it will be in the next upcoming version. To the app itself they can download. As of now, we will be just sending it to them.
Okay. So right now, what we understand from this is the application is free of cost. It is available in the Play Store. You can download it. And if there is any request for soil nutrient analysis, that will be done from our end, and the report will be sent to them on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So
I think in the meantime, when we are not getting the questions, there are some questions which was asked during the registration time.
Okay.
So we can just take that questions.
Okay.
Just give us a minute. We are just taking that.
So there's one more question. Are this app information has recognized by any central institute or agri university? Are we working with any of the institutions or any governments or anything as such?
Yeah, we are working with some agri universities and we are doing some pilot in Telangana. We are with the PJTSU, this Professor Jason Telangana Agriculture University. We are doing some pilots. As the certificate wise, we are not like any certified by that, but there are some agri universities we are collaborating with, and even we are trying to work with some many agri universities across the different states. And
okay, so we'll look about some of the questions that we have received in during the registration. Okay, so there are some of the questions that we have received during this registration of the farm. The first question would be whether we can monitor the crop growth from remote sensing. If yes, what are the satellite imagery products? Okay. What are the products that are available? Probably we have discussed this.
Yeah. So when we, as we have already shown, the crop health can be monitored,
yes.
And when we see the different satellites, there are satellites from European space agencies, and there are satellites from NASA, and there are satellites from Indian government of ISRO. So there are mostly there are two types of satellites. One is optical satellite. From that we are providing NDVA, and also from microwave satellite we are providing a radar vegetation indices, which is available. Advantage of microwave satellite is which is available throughout the all weather conditions. So the satellites like Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2, Landsat, these are the ones which are used.
Okay. How can we measure soil organic carbon for agriculture lands?
Okay, similar to what we have explained. So this is how we develop. Like it's mostly the AI or ML based. If you have more specific questions like how we want to do and all, like maybe you want to do it over region, you can just always contact us. Then we can able to help you.
Some information on satellite data products frequency to the end user, like how many days.
So when we say the temporal resolution, that is the frequency. When we see about crop health, it can be provided once in 5 days. When the soil moisture, it is provided once in 12 days. And when we see about the soil nutrients, which we are doing only when the land is barren. So maybe once in a season we can give, and if it's for the plantation crops, we will not be able to give where it's the canopy completely covers the land, where the land is not barren.
Okay, so there is one question also, like we did not talk so much about that also, I think. Is there any irrigation advisory, like irrigation water management advisory that we can get?
Yeah, we are providing for some crops based on what is the age of the crop, and then information, and about the soil moisture information. We are providing the irrigation advisories about like how much to irrigate, and once in how many days they have to irrigate. This irrigation advisories we are providing.
So the irrigation advisory will be available to farmers.
So in this presentation, we rather than talking about, we want to have it very short and more like a discussion. So rather than talking about all the features which is available in the app, we took some 5 futures which we feel maybe more. We taken some 5 futures which is more we getting questions from the farmers when we are going to the field and explaining also, or where we get lots of interest from the farmers. We explained it. So in the upcoming presentations we can explain about how these other features also, if there is some features required.
Okay. So there's one question, interesting question. Can we distinguish between different crops using satellite remote sensing?
Yes. So we can do it up to 15 for the around 15 crops. We can distinguish it based on the satellite data. And if somebody is interested and want to know where some particular crop is growing in different parts of India, this we can do it. We have done it for some several crops across the India and outside the India also.
So that is also possible. If there are any procurement, if there are anybody who is interested in procurement or something, they want to.
It may be agri input. It may be they want to know about where some particular crop is grown. We can help them in identifying that.
Okay. So we have one last question. Okay. So which is the best data set for agricultural purposes?
I think we can't, not only agriculture, every questions when it comes, we can't say something as a best. There is always a trade-off between something, and we have to utilize with what is available and how best we are using, what is our purpose. If we see about, you want to know about the pest or disease, the satellite data may not be available, but you can send us the photos and this can be used with that. So similarly, it's like based on what is your use case, maybe if we can give some more information, what is your use case, then we can recommend what is the best data which is available for that.
Okay. There's one more question. What are the charges for subscription? Okay, like we've already mentioned, there will be no charges for the subscription per se. Am I right?
No.
Like
What are the features we explained? These are basic features which is available for free. And if you want to go for some premium version, or you want to go for some institute, you want to give it take it as a service for the API or something, you can contact us and we will be explaining it to you. And if it's for the soil nutrient estimation, it is around 25 rupees per acre we are charging.
so that is the presently if we consider farmers as our end users, so the soil nutrient estimation is the only place where we are charging 25 rupees per acre, and rest of the things we will be providing free of cost services.
Yeah, as what are the basic features which explain.
Okay.
So sometimes like in this also again you can split by the help of the vegetation disease. We can see is there particular part of the farm where the productivity is more, or particular part of the farm where the productivity is less. So you want to do the crop productivity zone analysis, or you want to do some more analysis over the data, and you want to have this the data maybe for the forecast for more than whatever we are providing for the free. And if you want more extra information, it's like more like a premium basis. So what are the available features which is free of cost, and there are some features if you want to take as a service or something like and we are providing just for 3 months of data. If you want to have historically more than that, those kind of things will be chargeable. Always you can just contact us and we will provide you like how much.
So if there are any research scholars who are interested in knowing what is happening with the land parcel, like there are many agriculture researchers who are into this productivity analysis, making the zones and all this kind of data, so they can contact you for all this kind of information.
Yes.
So that will be available from us.
Yes. It's not only for research scholars, even for farmers also it will be useful, like they can understand rather than maybe some particular part of the farm which is not behaving good over the historically. Maybe is it because maybe there are some very use cases we did. There is one part of the farm which is close to the lake, so the seepage was more, so there it's getting affected. So this kind of analysis if you want to do, that can be, we can do it for you also.
So there is one more question from person, like what vegetation indices can Satyukt provide?
Okay, we are providing currently, but at the just normally we are providing NDVI, which is from the optical data, and we are providing radar vegetation index, which is from our micro data. Other than this, we are providing like 10s and 20s of indices, like we are providing NDRE, we are providing EVA, we are providing SAVA, and we are providing many indices based on the request, not for everybody. If you are, let's say, this all there is a what is the with the NDVA is maybe the NDVA will saturate for a particular, maybe it works well for the vegetables and all. If it is a sugarcane, it may saturate very early before the sugarcane reaches maturity. So there are some indices which are specific to the particular crops. It's based on which crop. If you tell us like which is the crop you are looking for, so particular crop, what is the best indices which is there, which we can give it for you.
Okay, so that will work as a premium subscription, like
Yes.
you were mentioning. So if you want to monitor your crop precisely, or
It's not only your crop. If you want to take it for some giving advisory
Okay.
to the farmers, only concentrating on maybe some particular crop. You want more indices, you can just always tell us the indices. That indices can be provided.
Okay, so it was an interesting discussion that we had today. So if there aren't any more questions that we are getting from the viewers, we can probably end. Do you want to put any remarks at the end, like Do you want to tell anything to the viewers?
No, I think that's it. Just we have still 10 more minutes. If there is some more questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, our phone number is provided. Even the farmers, anybody, they can just directly contact. And the app Sat2Farm is available in the Play Store. They can download it. And if there is somebody who wants to, not only farmers, if somebody wants to collaborate with us, they can also contact us. They send us a mail or they can contact us. We are happy to collaborate with that, and you can integrate it as API to your service, or you want to integrate it as take it as to your group of farmers if you are working with, that can be done.
Okay, will you give recommended dose after soil nutrient analysis?
Yes, we will be providing a recommendation also for the particular crop. What is the recommended usage it can be needed for?
So, meaning to say, like, if you already know what is the existing amount of fertilizer, you will just say what is the additional fertilizer requirement that is needed.
Yes.
Okay. So, that question is answered.
How to get field coordinator contact region wise? You can just always you can always just contact us and tell us your region. We can have our local people who will be helping you in getting you in touch with this one number, or in the mobile app you have for the different numbers provided for the, when you go to the contact section or help section, we have the different numbers provided for the language specific. So there's particular language, we can just you can contact that particular person, then they will help you in how to add a form, or how to geotag it if you have a difficulty, or if you have difficulty in understanding the data provided. Those all these things he will be helping you. And if you are want to meet some field coordinator, you want to visit also, maybe you can just tell us, that we will help you in connecting with the nearest field coordinator for your location.
So they can always contact us through the mail or the phone number that we have provided. Yes. If the field coordinators are available in that region, they can probably go to their field and help them over.
Yeah, obviously we will have field coordinator across India, so they can help you in that.
Okay. We'll wait for some time. If there are any questions that we get along. So we have one interesting question here. How to develop precision agriculture in your own field? Like what we were discussing all through the webinar. Probably that might
hope
be.
we have answered your question. If you have still, you are watching the webinar, and if you have a question, you can just ask us.
Okay. So
I think.
have you done any soil health analysis in different parts of India? How it affects the crop yield?
Yeah. So we have done soil health analysis. Currently, over using our remote sensing technology, we have provided nearly close to 300 acres of the land. We have provided, and we have provided it in UP. We have provided in Canada. We have given, and many like not only in these two states, we have provided in different states also.
Basically, is it not location specific, or
no? It's not location specific. Currently, we are providing to any parts of India.
So any part of India, farmer can just register in our application and then ask for a soil analysis report, nutrient analysis report.
Regarding the second question, how it affects the crop yield, it's not like not only the soil health analysis, even without health analysis also, when you apply the fertilizer more than what is required, sometimes it means like it increases your production cost also, and also it may be not harmful to the crop. And another is like if you are providing less than what is required, maybe one particular nutrients, so there we can make it like we can give what is the recommended amount. So there you can just apply what is recommended amount, you can get the optimal yield. More is like how to increase the income of the farmers by reducing the production cost. This is how it will be helpful in.
Okay. So, any future plans or features or app support that we are expecting from your?
Oh, maybe I hope it is from an iPhone user or something maybe.
Okay.
So yes, we will be having in the iPhone version in some time. Then also there is a web platform also. There also they can use. And there is another question: what is the mode of payment for soil nutrient analysis? Yeah, you can just you can contact us. There will be it's using a Google Pay or like as it is more. It is from a farmer specific for one particular acre or something. You can we have a Google Pay. You can just pay through Google Pay or maybe if you are close to our office, just any other way which is comfortable for you. Maybe we can give you account number. You can transfer to our account number also. So those are the facilities available.
Okay. How will you take the farmer to our of concern through your application?
How will you take the farmer? I hope maybe the question is how will you take the farmer to the area of concern through your application?
Okay.
Yeah. So we are having in our future application there will be a location along with the maps we are providing. There will be your location also. So with the help of this, you can navigate to the location where you can like where is your concern area, and then you can give it.
Okay. So all in all, probably we can answer most of the questions in one go. These are the future updates or probably features that we are going to get in some time, right? Like how we are going to take this farmers to the area of concern, or probably when are we coming to the iOS platform, or when are we coming to the other platforms as well. So like I just have one question from my end, a personal question. So this is okay for a small farmer. If I have around like I have a group of farmers, or I have some association with the farmers wherein we pool all our resources and go to some place else. So if I have around 10 or 20 or 30 people that we are doing, and we have different land parcels, is there any alternative other than the mobile application that we can use to monitor all this at once?
Oh yeah, we have a platform also, Sat2Farm.com.
Okay.
There you can monitor it, and we are providing an API also. Like similarly, if you are having your own services, you are providing your own app or something, you can just integrate this with that.
So the web application will contain all the information like what we have suggested as of now.
Yes.
Okay. So I can monitor as many farms as I want. Okay. So it's been a very good session, probably a lot of learning from our end, and also the most of the questions were interesting, and we could actually get some of the insights of how we are on field, how the farmers work, how the Sat2Farm application is working on field, and whether we are solving all their queries on day-to-day activities as such. So like we have also mentioned, there will be more webinars coming up in this series in various local languages and various other things. So we'll just take this last question that we have got. How recent is the data with respect to irrigation?
Yeah, when we are seeing about irrigation, we are taking one is like not only the soil moisture we are considering the weather forecast information for the next 5 days also. So this is based on what is your current condition and the next 5 days of weather forecast. Then we are providing this. So
okay. So I hope that has answered. So it was very good talking to you. Probably we'll connect more if we have some of the information that we have to give in the forms of webinars, or we'll be posting it on social media. Kindly do not forget to subscribe to the channel, follow, and like this, hit the notification bell. That's been a part of all the YouTube presentations these days. So guys, all the viewers, if you have any more okay, so this viewer is interested.
I think we can answer, right?
Yeah,
that is this is the data is available on the demand. Yes, like on basis of the demand we can provide the data. Like there is, you can contact this number if you have some particular demand or particular some customization you required or something. You can contact either the phone number, or you can send us the mail. This will obviously will connect it. Only mostly today we will try to reply, but today as it is Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday, so we will not be getting a reply immediately today or tomorrow. Maybe if you are sending, mostly on the one day you will get the replies for you.
Okay, so customization is available through the platform. All the data that is already available to the farmers, day-to-day basis, that is available in the Sat2Farm application. So if there are any special requests, that will be charged a nominal amount that will be catered or delivered to the concerned person as such. So okay, is there anything else that you want to say to the viewers in the end?
No, I think that's it. Like mostly, only thing is, as we are starting this webinar series and planning to have a series of this, mostly the feedbacks will help us in improving. Even if we do something is wrong, it's are the topics which are discussing, is it interest to the farmer or is it interest to the community which we are trying to reach? The suggestions are welcome, and what type of the topics they want to discuss in the future, and in the apps, what are the feedbacks they want to give, how we can modify the app so it can be like our mission and whatever we wants to aim, and we are able to achieve it only when it's the end users goals are met. So just always the way comes the feedback. So
that is the request to the viewers from our speaker today. Please comment your suggestions, comment your views, like the video. If you want something else to be discussed on this webinar series that is coming up, you can always post us, you can always mail us or contact us. We'll be coming up with those topics in the next coming webinar. And just to remind you, the next webinar will be in Kannada language to focus on people of Karnataka, and that will be coming live on 14th of May. Is that right, if I'm right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that webinar will be regarding the Sat2Farm application, and also we'll be taking in the suggestions that are provided to this webinar. So we'll carry forward. It was a good webinar.